Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Masterworks. Tonight we're going to have a nice, relaxing walk in nature with a Norwegian artist who I'm not going to try to pronounce his name, but we will put it up on screen for you. So if you guys are ready to wind down with a little walk in nature, let's get to it. Good evening, Shakti. So let's just take a minute, and before we talk about it, I just would like you to take a minute and see it with your own eyes. Have a look. Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you not care for it? What do you think? Okay, so there's the artist and his years. Are you picking up the big pattern? Can you see the big pattern in there? Hello, Shakti. We've been doing this for a little while, so can you see the value pattern? The tree trunks that are darks. How do the darks look as you follow them across the canvas? How are they organized? Right, there's a lot of greenery here, but this feels kind of autumn. Why does it feel autumn? There's some bare leaves. There's a lot of greenery, so where's the color in this painting? Where do you see the reds and the oranges primarily? How about the white? The lightest light. What's that shape in the painting? All right, well, let's shake things up here and see if we can have you look at this through some new eyes. So all we've done is we've turned it into black and white and turned it upside down. Do you see how cleanly those tree trunks are almost like musical notes dancing across the canvas? And the so-called man walking down the path is no more than another note on the canvas. Right? A dark note dancing across. And how the light of the sky, which is on the bottom now, almost looks like a lake if you look at it, is continued into the dark of the land, or the medium value of the land, with just a little puddle, reflection in the puddle up there. Can you see that as I'm talking about it? You see there's mainly one light shape right here. And then we go gray, don't we? Or into that third value. Or I guess that would be the second value, huh? We'd go light, And then there's a second value. Where's the second value in there? And then what would this, the third value? Be the uprights in light. And maybe a little bit up here. And then of course you can see the darks. The rock, this, some of the reflections. Do you see how there's a solid dark across here, and then out of that those tree trunks come? And then da 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 da, rest, boom, and then a little more. So while we're still in black and white, before we head back to color and have a new look, can you see the arrow now? I'm taking it in and taking it out sometimes. Sometimes I'm just talking, trying to lead you through. I don't want the arrow to be distracting. But the dark notes would be the tree trunks. He would be a dark note. So if big things come forward and little things go back, how can this big thing be in the back? How do you do that, huh, Jason? Oh, okay, smarty pants. So you think that's a big tree? You pretty sure of that? Well, look at this little teenager here, child tree. It starts right here, which is how much lower than this tree starts? And it goes where? Up to here, which is how much taller than that tree? Isn't that an interesting little game he's played with you right there? You know this is an ancient giant. And this is a young little fella here. But technically speaking, this tree is larger than that tree. Right? But with the shape and the grayness, he was able to make that quite a bit larger than anything else in that value right there. And then by keeping this one dark, and just the nature of immature wood, right? You can really see the girth on that as it's really grown up and stretched and feel the years. Anyway, we could keep talking back and forth, or I could anyway, forever. So you've got this guy walking in between. It's almost like they're playing catch away from this little guy here, or keep away. Keep away catch. Can you see that? Can you see those movements? Can you see how active those trees are being? They're dancing and playing and singing. All of them are all. How about those? These trees aren't doing anything. Right? And most of these are pretty quiet. This is a little interesting, and this is kind of interesting. There's a little bit of interest here. But how is he keeping us in the center? Excuse me. You guys see that? All right, let's head back and take a look. Again, just kind of reoriented. What's the dark pattern through there, and the light pattern, and the gray pattern? How does his patterns differ from our patterns? How does his shapes differ from our shapes? So again, you don't really do more than we're already doing. We just hope we can do it better. Maybe as good as this guy someday. Wow. So I'm going to take the arrow away. And let's just look at this for a minute or two before we call it an evening. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. But we're going to be a little bit light tonight. You remember when we had it in black and white? Sorry, I can't help myself. And we talked about these guys playing catch and this guy. So he's got color. You see how that yellow catches your eye right through here? And look how he's kept reds and oranges to a large part right through the center here. And then here, again, he's kept it. All these little games that painters and artists play. And if you'll take the time to stop and investigate, you can see them. And rather than the magic disappearing, somehow it just increases the magic of the work. When you can see what they're up to and how they did it. Again, look at this little junior tree in the foreground next to the water. With that ancient dancing behemoth in the background. All right, I hope I'm not alone in enjoying that. I just think that it's just, man, it just makes my heart sing to see nature like that. That's a really nice way to put it. His tree shapes look like anything could happen. Looks so spontaneous. And that's the trick right there. We take these obvious principles. You go from big to small, you go from dark to gray, and you design them, yet you want the painting to feel completely natural. And there's the balance. It's so easy to say. Well, how hard can that be? Well, I don't know. Give it a try. Let's see. But you know, as we see these guys and see what's possible, and again, it's the variety in the tree shapes, right? What's right next to this dancing? Look, so that's a quiet one. Quiet, 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 quiet. There's a little bit of interest here, so it's not just, but it's not like there's a bunch of dancing trees, right? Most of these are pretty quiet, and then he's got a couple that's got some shape to them. Even back here, look. Quiet, quiet. And this is, even though it's very interesting in the texture, it's design-wise pretty quiet when you compare it to these guys. So great point. Great point, Shakti. Okay, guys, why don't we just leave that right there? I think let's just leave the evening on a nice walk in nature. Right? It's so spontaneous, like anything could happen. Just completely natural. I love it. All right, guys. If you like what you saw, please like the video. Give it a thumbs up. Like and subscribe to the channel. You can do that hitting the little red box. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. for student feedback. 1:30 for studio time. And again, 8 tomorrow night for some more Masterworks. So, I hope all of you guys have a good evening. And I will see you later. Good night, everybody.